believe it or not, I actually do like musicals.
You liar!
Hey guys, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 overrated musicals. Overrated shit. Oh my god. I know some people don't always like hearing the word overrated, but you know what? Sometimes people have opinions. They have different opinions. They don't go with the norm and think, oh my god, this shit's fucking amazing. It's just a little overrated. And it's all subjective. And you have to deal with that. Deal with that. I was gonna do an underrated, but I looked into it, and some I find underrated. Just there wasn't enough to make a top 10 list. A lot of the musicals I love, they're very popular, and there's a few I find a bit underrated, but just not enough to make a top 10 list. Sorry. But again, I do like musicals. I'm not like a die-hard musical fan. Like it's not in my top 5 favorite genres, but I enjoy it. I love Wizard of Oz. I love Sweeney Todd. I love a lot of the classic Disney animated films. I love Mary Poppins. And yeah, there's a ton. There's a ton I like. A lot of the classics like An American in Paris and basically everything what's it called? Singing in the Rain. Like, pretty much anything like Gene Kelly. I love that shit. And yeah, I like musicals. But there's just musicals out there I just can't get into, can't really stand. I'm just like, that ain't for me. And these are the ones. So let's get to it. And again, it's my opinion. Number 10, both the Mamma Mia movies. Both of them. I know these were both smash hit Broadway shows, smash hit films. Meryl Streep, Amanda Seyfried, you got Cher, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth. Big cast, A-list cast. It's ABBA, the band ABBA, all their songs performed by these actors. It's not good to me. I think the first one is definitely the more loved one. Because Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again, is literally that. It's Here We Go Again. It's the same story. It's the same songs that we heard in the first film. And it's the same thing. So it was literally just a cash grab. But the first movie is just this very basic story with very one-note characters. The story is like the 5th most important thing in the movie. It is literally just about the cast and them having fun and the scenery in Greece and the number one thing, hearing the ABBA songs. And you know what? I like ABBA. ABBA's a good band. And when they sing the songs, they're really good and they're iconic. But just hearing all these actors sing these songs really poorly and dance really awkwardly, it's just not very fun. It's not very entertaining. And I never saw the Broadway show, but I have seen both films, and I can't stand either or, but people seem to enjoy them. That's cool. You all enjoy them, but I certainly do not enjoy them. Number 9 is Matilda, the musical. I don't know what's going on now that they're making just musicals of all these big movies, and I don't know, they might be based off Broadway shows. Again, I don't go to I've been to a few Broadway shows, like I saw Wicked and stuff. I've been to a few operas too, but I'm not huge in the Broadway scene. All I judge is film, so seeing musical film off of a classic childhood story and that was never a musical, seeing it as a musical, it's just weird. I was never a huge Matilda guy though. Like my sister loved Matilda. Like I was never big in the Matilda story, so I don't know. But just seeing it as a musical, I just didn't think it works as good. And Emma Thompson is a great actress, but her as the Trench is just not as good as that classic actress, man. She rocks that role. Even though I'm not a huge Matilda fan, the girl who plays is the Trench, she is wicked in that movie. Emma Thompson she can't compete. Even this Matilda, like she's not even as like charming as Mara Wilson was, and it doesn't have that crazy weird Danny DeVito direction the original had with the weird wide angle lens and the crazy visuals. And the original was such a dark and disturbing kids movie. They go more lighter and more like uppity about it with the musical and stuff. And I didn't like it. Just me, it wasn't my thing. So, but critics seem to enjoy it. So, good for you. Coming number 8 is In the Heights. In the Heights. Yeah, just it was. I didn't hate it. Like I thought the story was fine. Maybe this is. Maybe I just don't think hip hop musicals work that well. Like I think movies about hip hop are awesome. Like I love 8 Mile and Straight Outta Compton and stuff. Really wanted All Eyes on Me to be good, but man, that movie sucked fucking ass. But like hearing rap and making stories about hip hop artists is great, but like making a musical with hip hop numbers, I don't know. I don't think it flows really well, and I don't think it is that great. And I don't know. I just couldn't get into it, and I can just never bring myself to watch this movie. And I watched it, and I thought it was okay, and just like someone, I remember like a year later, that hey, you want to watch In the Heights? I'm like, not really. I don't think I could watch that movie ever again. It was kind of exhausting to watch. I don't know. It's just not my thing, really. That's the best way you can describe it. The acting is really good. The cinematography is very good. And I don't even say the musical is bad. It's just not my kind of music. And it's painfully slow. And I don't know. It didn't hook me. It didn't intrigue me. So definitely I find it's a bit overrated. But that's a personal thing. So number 7, Chicago. I have to call it overrated because it won fucking Best Picture at the Oscars. I will say, Catherine Zeta-Jones, who is not always great in movies, she crushes it in this movie. She is awesome. She's badass. Her musical number of They Had It Coming was fantastic. She has some great dance numbers. She's great. I think she's really good. Renee Zellweger is not bad. My God, do I hate her character, but I think I'm supposed to. Richard Gere, I don't think he was the right choice to play that role. Same with John C. Reilly. I don't know, I just never understood why this movie won Best Picture and why it was like known as like one of the best musicals of that decade. And just like, really? It's kind of basic. It's very predictable. There are like a couple strong musical numbers, but a lot of them just are really on the nose and just really goofy and really silly and just, I don't know. I didn't find the movie very engaging, and it's a little hokey at times, and I don't know. I was never a huge Chicago fan. Again, that's a personal thing, but it won Best Picture. I don't know what the Academy was smoking, but it won Best Picture. Number 6 is Anette. This one I didn't like at all. And again, it wasn't like overly praised by critics, but it did get praise, and there is a fan base for it. I think it's all style, no substance. I didn't like any of the musical numbers. I think Adam Driver is a pretty good actor in the movie. There's some very nice shots, very nice editing techniques in it, but it is all style, man. That is what this movie is. It is trying to look flashy, look beautiful. Hey, it's like Rings of Power. But it's not very good. It doesn't have a very good story. I can't for the life of me remember anything about these characters. I can't remember a single song or musical number from it. It is just so forgettable and generic and boring as fuck, and it's not very good. See, like with Chicago and In the Heights, like I could see why people enjoy them. They just don't grab me, but this one, I don't get it. I think this movie just blows, but that's just me. So yes, there's that. Number 5, All That Jazz. With All That Jazz. Yeah, there you go. Reference to Chicago. All That Jazz has a great actor too. Roy Schneider, who we all know from Jaws and French Connection. He's a great actor. Him playing this like ballet dance instructor is interesting. This movie is like very grimy and dark and gritty, and I should love it because this is like the 70s where movies went ball to the wall out there. I don't know. I thought it was just a miserable experience watching this movie. It's been a few years though. I watched this movie like 7-8 years ago. Was just not into this movie though. Just wasn't into the story. I thought the characters were too unlikable. I didn't like the dance numbers, the musical numbers. I was just not getting into it. I was watching all these like musicals I never saw. And I remember I watched Bye Bye Birdie before I watched this, and for some reason I thought Bye Bye Birdie was pretty good. And I think that's underrated. Same with like Pirates of Pan-Am. Those are like underrated musicals. But then I watched All That Jazz, this Academy Award nominated movie, one of the best musicals, and I'm like, eh. Number 4, The Color Purple. I already talked about this in my overrated movies of last year. I know everyone's like, "Oh, it's actually based off the Broadway show." No, yes, but it's also based off the movie. The movie doesn't warrant a Broadway show or a musical. The movie is powerful, it's beautiful, it's fantastic, it's timeless. One of Spielberg's most brutal and just incredible films. I don't want to see it as a musical. It takes away the emotionality. It takes away a lot of the stuff that Spielberg did with the movie. I just was not into this movie. I was in the minority, obviously, because fucking people love it. I couldn't stand it. Moving on. Number 3, another Academy Award-winning movie, Cabaret.
Miss Saigon and Cabaret.
Miss Saigon and Cabaret.
Overrated, I should say.
Overrated, I should say.
People love Cabaret. It's Cabaret. It's Liza Minnelli. Like, the only good movie she ever did. Liza Minnelli's, she's good in the movie. I'll admit it. She won the Oscar. She's solid. She's really good. Great voice. Killer dance moves. Her character's intriguing. Best part of the movie. Michael York is, again, it's the 70s. It's more raw. It's darker. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I was not into it. I was not into the story. Again, when I watch a musical, I want to get into the story. I want to get into the dance numbers, the musicals, the songs. I want to put the songs on my phone, on my Spotify, because I have a whole like section on my Spotify of musical numbers from musicals. And shit, at least Chicago, I got one song, but like none of these movies I ever put a single song on there because I just don't give a fuck, and just they don't hit me. The music doesn't hit me. The dancing, the story just doesn't hit me. So Cabaret is one of them. Number 2, classic one, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. This movie is just creepy. And you know what? I hate using that term because I hate when people like pick apart old films. They say they're outdated for the age of 2024 and stuff. Like, I love old movies. I think old movies are better than new movies. They're a million times better than new movies and stuff. And I just think for a time they just had different ways of telling stories and stuff. But I'll admit, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers is weird. It's a weird movie. I will say the dancing is killer. There's a dance sequence that was fucking awesome. I'll admit that. It was pretty amazing. The story is really stupid. The actors, most of the actors in this movie are really bad actors too. And the story of these brothers trying to get these brides is a little weird and very creepy. Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be one of those people that just, it's creepy. It's weird. The romance between all these brothers with these brides is just non-existent, and like you don't remember a single character's name, and it's just a weird movie. Like, I remember watching this movie, I'm like, this movie's kind of weird and kind of creepy and kind of stupid and not very well acted. And that's not because of its time, because I've watched a ton of classic musicals and like watch oh my god, what's that movie? The Christmas one. Meet Me in St. Louis. Meet Me in St. Louis. That movie is fucking amazing. Julie Garland in that movie is incredible. The young sister is fantastic. That movie's fantastic. Well acted, beautiful music. That is like one of the great musicals of all time. And like My Fair Lady with Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison, like those are amazing films. But this one is like right up there with the classics, and I think it's shit. Am I wrong? Number one, this one is not like hugely critically, but like it has like this huge cult following. They've even done like multiple remakes of it, and it's like embedded in society and one of the classic musicals, and that's Fame. Fame sucks. I'm sorry. Like every time I think of like a musical that people enjoy, and I'm just like I fucking hate it, it's Fame. Like all of the ones I've talked about on this list, I don't like hate them. I just don't like them. I don't get into them. I'm just not a fan of them. I just dislike them. Especially Seven Brothers. But Fame, I actually hate. I think that's why I'm putting out one, because I legit loathe this movie. I think it's annoying. I think the characters are annoying. And this is going with the original, and of course the remake, and of course the semi-remake with Hilary Duff, Raise Your Voice. Like, I think all those movies suck. And there's a story there with all these people, these musical talents going to the school, this art school and stuff. Like, do you have to make them so pretentious and annoying and shit? It's like, I don't give a fuck about these brats. Like, I don't care, and I don't care about these music. I don't care about this. It's stupid. Just, I'm glad I got that out. That I got to say to the world, Fame sucks. Thank you all for watching. Join the dark side.